Hello everybody, welcome back to Blast Away the Game Review. Today I'm actually getting to do an unboxing. I'm actually excited for it. This is not mine. I'm sure some of you are fairly familiar with my colleague Greg, who has been contributing to Batgirl for about a year now. Today he has actually given me permission to unbox his imported Fate Extella console. Yes, he has ordered it. He actually has the gloss for it over on the other side of the room. We'll actually show that here a little later. But for now, one thing we're going to take a look at is the most fashionable thing about this thing isn't just the artwork that came with it. It's actually the fact the box comes with a description saying one ring for the true king in English, not Japanese, which you can see right here on the box. And we'll actually have a picture of it in an article on our website, because we'll be doing a picture base for those of you who don't want to read. The one thing you're going to see is it's full of Japanese love right here. But another thing is it comes with the Fate Extella Edition logo on the front, which kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at. Unfortunately, the only thing I'm not excited about is this is not a Ps4 Pro. It is a Slim. But for anybody that just wants to play Fate Extella, this is definitely a must-have, especially for the true diehard fans. Now, one thing I did mention is the gloss front for Fate Extella, which I will admit is absolutely beautiful with Saber covering it, who just happens to be one of the coolest characters in the entire franchise and just happens to be a staple point of the franchise. So it's really cool they actually administer a detailed piece of artwork in a black and white to kind of bring out the color. Now, this is, those of you watching, a faceplate, so it actually replaces the original top cover. So for those of you who are collectors and you don't want to ruin it, this is a perfect collectible to put in a shadow box or to somehow laminate it so it doesn't get messed up. Just, it's a collectible. You're not going to want to really put this on your console unless you're one of those people who have special cleaning supplies. Now, we do have a Ps4 Pro, which we have hooked up over here. We're not going to be showing it off on a video, unfortunately, for all of you, which if Greg wants, he can capture a small image. You're going to see some Overwatch stuff and a decent amount of mess here in our office. But we're actually going to unbox this thing. This is, as I stated, a PS4 Slim. It is the 500 gigabyte Japanese model. Greg had this imported from Japan. So, just like any PlayStation 4 when you buy it, it comes with a controller cord to charge with, USB. It comes with HDMI's by default, of course. Your typical black headset, that's just the little single earbud. The power cord, which, for those of you who have seen and owned a PS4 Slim, or not even a Slim, just a regular, it's the same one you're going to see with your PS3s and I believe the PS2s. I could be mistaken there. It does come with the original DualShock 3, or DualShock 4, I'm sorry. You'll notice it'll look a little different than the DualShock 4 2.0 revision with the light bar up here. This one will be the one that you're used to seeing with the standard consoles from the last few years. Which, even then, it's still a very nice controller to have. I would always suggest having one. The console itself, which this is all it is, and I will show you guys actually why it's called a Slim here in just a second. We're going to put it side by side with the Pro to kind of give you the idea of, is this something you want to have at home? Is your entertainment system small enough? That kind of ordeal. It does have one similarity to the Pro, which is the slanted look on it, which goes away from what we saw with the past console, which didn't exactly have this look. On the bottom, as you can see, the rubber feet are actually the Sony PlayStation button symbols. The triangle, square, X, circle, so something you're known to have. It also has the PlayStation logo. It's actually glossed, not the matte look. And the top, which is just like the Pro, it's the matte with a small gloss PlayStation logo, which is really nice. It definitely takes away from the scratching, dust collecting gloss that we had on the standard PS4s about a year ago. The other thing it has, which I actually think is an improvement over the standard PS4, is power and eject are no longer heat sensitive buttons. They're actually push buttons, so you don't have to worry about the disk drive doing the auto eject error. You don't have to worry about getting a Q-tip with rubbing alcohol, cleaning dust out from between each of the sensors, which unfortunately I understand that pain. I had to deal with it, and unfortunately it led to me having to replace my console eventually, which is actually in a way kind of painful. But Sony got smart this time around with the revision 2, as I'd like to call them, and made the buttons on both the Slim and the Pro physical. And as all of us gamers will say, thank you for doing that, Sony. Now, one thing is different on the PlayStation 4 Slim compared to the other one. To replace the disk drive, you actually have to take off, I believe, this side panel right here. I could be mistaken. If it's not, it's the top. I haven't messed with these just yet. But it does offer something a lot of people are going to enjoy. It has an extra USB in the back. So, or not USB, it's an aux for the camera. So just like the other one, it's there, but it's not like the original PS4 where it's in the way, it's causing trouble. It's off to the side where you can put your camera either on top or beside your console, depending on your home theater setup. It comes with an Ethernet cable hookup and HDMI. But the problem for those of you who do have the optical in and out, you're not going to get this with that. With the Slim, you're not getting that feature. It's not here, so it's kind of one of those. Sony did have to cut corners to make a slimmer, more unique model for those of you who are just joining the PlayStation family. Now, with that being said, I did mention we're going to show you a little difference in size compared to the Pro. What you're going to notice very quickly, the PlayStation Slim is a single tier of the PlayStation 4 Pro. So you're getting probably about an inch to an inch and a half height differences. So for those of you who do have a tight space, the Pro may not be your best option. It does have a lot more power than the Slim. They're saying 30 to 40% difference, which sounds about right. But for those of you who do want to go with cheaper, more room, the Slim is going to be your best option. Just like the Slim, you have the physical buttons here and here. I actually put a copy of Watch Dogs 2 to show you the physicality on this one. It works just like that on the Slim, but the button is over here. As you can tell, disc still ejects slow as ever, which is unfortunately a Sony trademark with disc drives. But overall, the nice thing about both consoles, you have USB cords located for your convenience on the left and right. Over here, they're side by side, which offers a little bit of difference in the hardware. But it's nothing that's going to stop you from enjoying your console, which is actually nice about this big guy. I can't even call it big, it's slim. So, really in size, you saw it is a monstrous difference between Slim and Pro. But for those of you who, like I said, have tight spaces, this will be your best option. Even though you're not getting the horsepower of the PS4 Pro, you're still getting the power of PlayStation 4 in general. You still get to enjoy the same games, just not in 4K. That's the only thing you're really missing out besides 1080p stream and 4K. And unfortunately, we've run into a few hiccups with some of the 4K games. Last of Us doesn't run as good, which is a known issue. If you go anywhere on the web, it's out there. But overall, the PlayStation 4 Slim, to me, is actually quite a bit more appealing than the Pro. Even though I play on a Pro, I have a Pro, this is a lot more appealing just because of the size, the lesser amount of equipment you have to worry about in a box, and just overall its accessibility to the hard drive and the fact you can fully change this top cover. You don't have to worry about removing a backplate, breaking parts. This is just unclip and clip it back on, swap out your hard drive, you're good. But I do want to thank Greg for letting me have the opportunity to unbox this console and playing cameraman for the sake of being able to do this. If you're curious a lot more about the PlayStation 4 Slim, we will be dropping a link down in the bottom for any of you who want to take a peek at it. For those of you who want to know more about the Pro, we will be doing write-ups. We're not going to be doing a whole unboxing, how to swap the hard drives out. Unfortunately, I've already done all that. I've done what I needed. It's set up. We're actually working on a few PlayStation 4 Pro upgraded games for review just for you all, so you can expect to see Watch Dogs 2, Killing Floor 2. We have a couple of others that are in the works, but those of you who want to know more about Fate Extella, definitely stay tuned to next year. Greg will be doing the review. He's definitely the guy I would want doing this, and I know he'll be doing it on his PlayStation 4 Slim, which will be amazing to hear about. But if you want to know how to go about this console and how to retrieve it, we'll drop some sites that we know are trustworthy. You don't have to worry about shady dealers and vendors. We've used them multiple times. So if you're wanting to get a hold of this, look down in the more information below. If you don't see it there, feel free to send us a message on how to do it, because we are going to find retailers we feel are reputable and still have these in stock, because these are run in limited quantities. These are a limited edition, so you're not going to be able to really jump on it if you wait too long. But overall, I want to thank all of you for tuning in again. Thank you for listening to me ramble. If you do have the PlayStation 4 Slim, definitely let us know what your thoughts are, especially regarding things such as the interchangeable tops, the ability of having more room for your home theaters, as well as just the overall accessibility of your console. But I'm Dustin with Blast Away the Game Review. I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. Definitely stay tuned for, as I said, we have those reviews coming up. Greg has one special one, which I can't wait to have him get on. And thank you, as I said, thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.